The Sky need Kennedy Carter. And it is evident that they needed a Kennedy Carter yesterday. They have nobody that's just going to go out there and get a bucket. Is going to step up and just take over a game. Like, I think Sloot's really good. I rate Ariel Atkins so highly. Like, I think Ariel Atkins is great. Carter,
I was in the heat of the moment. You know, I don't know Caitlin. I don't know her from anywhere. And this is basketball. And you're playing against somebody like me. I classify myself as a dog.
You do have a target on your back. You came into the league as the top dog in college, and now professional players whom you're going up against want to show you why they are on top. I mean, my big sister included, she dropped 24 on my head the first time we played against each other. This path is not for the weak, and I think you heard.
And Clark.
Caitlin Clark hit the floor, and the WNBA hit a boiling point. One shoulder check, no ball, no warning, just straight up contact. And the crowd? Silent for a second, then exploded. Because this wasn't just a foul. This was a message. And it came from Chennedy Carter, a player known for playing with fire, but not always with forgiveness. Let's be real. Chennedy didn't just bump into Caitlin. She launched a narrative. A narrative that's been quietly bubbling under the surface of the league for months. A tension between rookies who've been hyped like rock stars and vets who've been grinding in silence, waiting for the cameras to notice. The moment Caitlin went down, the internet split in two. One side screamed, "Protect the face of the league." The other, she got what was coming. A tweet went viral with 5 brutal words. "This ain't basketball anymore." And honestly, it didn't feel like it was. It felt personal. Like Chennedy was saying everything she couldn't in a post-game presser. Like she was speaking for every overlooked player who never got a Nike commercial, who never trended on TikTok, for just existing. But here's where it gets wild. That foul might have been the moment everything changed. Not just for Caitlin Clark, but for Chennedy Carter. Because after that hit, Carter's minutes? Down. Her name? Everywhere. But not in the way you'd want as a player fighting to stay in the league. And whether you think it was dirty, justified, or just part of the game, you can't deny this. The WNBA felt different after that shoulder. Check. So here's the real question. Was this just a foul, or did it become the beginning of the end for Chennedy Carter's WNBA career? Because the league didn't just react, it remembered. And the fallout? Oh, it's just getting started. When Chennedy Carter fouled Caitlin Clark, the league didn't say much. But their silence? It spoke volumes. No official punishment. No press conference breakdown. Just a foul on paper, bah. And then suddenly Carter vanished from the spotlight she never even asked for. Because let's be honest, this wasn't just about contact. This was about consequence. The moment she touched Caitlin, she crossed an invisible line, not drawn by referees, but by narratives. The kind that decide who's celebrated and who's quietly erased. One day, she's going viral for a hit. The next, she's barely seeing minutes on the court, coaches dodging questions, reporters playing it safe. And Carter, caught in the saw. Middle of a PR war she never signed up for. This is the WNBA's unwritten code. Play your role, stay marketable, don't stir the pot, unless you're the chosen one. And Chennedy, she's never been anyone's golden girl. She's too raw, too real, too unapologetic. So when she bodied Caitlin, she didn't just ignite debate, she triggered a system that picks favorites and punishes friction. Now Carter's not suspended, she's just disappearing. And that's the scariest part. Because the league didn't cancel her, they just stopped calling her name. The hit was one thing. But what came after? That's where the real story begins, because the internet lost its mind. TikTok was on fire. X, became a war zone. One viral post said, Chennedy did what half the league's been dreaming of. Another? This is what happens when you let TikTok hype someone who hasn't proven anything. Zero chill. Fans weren't just split. They were tearing the WNBA community in half. On one side, Carter became a cult hero. On the other, she was public enemy number 1. And the comments weren't just about the foul. They were about race, respect, who gets protected, and who gets policed. Because let's not pretend this is just about basketball. This is about how black women in the W get treated when they show emotion, aggression, passion. Carter's hit became a lightning rod. Not because of what she did, but because of who she did it to. And through all of it, Caitlin Clark stayed silent. No interviews, no clapbacks. Just that one quote. I wasn't expecting it. That line alone, instant meme material. This wasn't just a foul. This was a culture clash between new fans, old fans, media bias, and the players stuck in the middle of it all. And the crazy part? The internet is still keeping receipts. The league said it was just a common foul. But let's not sugarcoat it. That shoulder shook the WNBA's image. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie. She's the rookie. The face on every promo, the headline on every sports app, the reason thousands are tuning in for the first time. So when Chennedy Carter dropped her with zero remorse, it was like watching someone body slam the league's marketing plan. And the league's reaction? Cold, clinical, common foul. No review, no suspension, no acknowledgement of the chaos it caused. But behind that calm PR spin, the message was loud. Protect the product, not the player. Meanwhile, Caitlin's been getting knocked around. Every other game, hard fouls, cheap shots, zero calls. And when she finally gets decked off the ball, crickets. The silence says it all. Either the WNBA doesn't want to feed the drama, or they're afraid of what happens when they admit Caitlin needs protection. Because once you do that, you admit there's a target on her back, and that opens up a whole other conversation the league clearly isn't ready to have. This wasn't just about Carter and Clark. This was about what the WNBA chooses to defend, and what it's willing to ignore. But here's where things get really messy, because while the WNBA stayed quiet, fans and players filled the silence. And not everyone was defending Caitlin. In fact, some straight up said she had it coming. Angel Reese liked tweets calling it karma. Lexi Brown threw subtle shade on Instagram, and social media lit up with receipts, old interviews, court clips, even college-level beef. The energy? Less protect Caitlin and more welcome to the league, rookie. It wasn't just a foul anymore. It became a referendum on who Caitlin Clark is, not just as a player, but as a symbol. For some, she's the savior of the Pioneer League. For others, she's the walking embodiment of media bias, of white privilege, of hype overshadowing legacy, and in that split, players pick sides. Some unfollowed, some subtweeted, some just smiled in post-game pressers like they knew exactly what they were doing. The WNBA has always had rivalries, but this is starting to feel like something deeper, a culture war playing out on hardwood in hashtags and between every post-game pause. Caitlin didn't start this fire, but she definitely walked into it. And just like that, Chennedy Carter disappeared. No post-game presser, no Instagram statement, no tweet to clear the air, just silence. The kind of silence that feels loud, the kind of silence that makes you wonder, did the league pull her aside? Did someone tell her to fall back? Because after that hit, the spotlight should have been on her. Love her or hate her, Carter was the moment. But instead of riding the wave, she vanished. Benched the next game. Minutes cut, media blackout. Like the league wanted to press Ctrl+Z on the whole thing, and here's where it gets suspicious. Chennedy Carter has always played with fire. That's who she is. But suddenly, the fire's gone. And not because she burned out. It's like someone blew out the candle for her. So now fans are asking the real question. Was that hit on Caitlin Clark the beginning of Carter's comeback? Or the end of her WNBA career? Because the league claims it's about the game. But when a moment this big gets buried this fast, it makes you wonder who's actually calling the shots. But here's the irony nobody wants to touch. That hit, the one that supposedly crossed the line, it might have saved the season. Because before Carter shoulder-checked Clark into viral history, the WNBA was fighting for screen time. Highlight reels, mid, ratings, decent but nothing earth-shattering. Then boom, one blindside foul and suddenly everyone's watching. ESPN can't shut up. TikTok's got edits like it's a Marvel trailer. Even non-sports accounts are chiming in. It's wild. The league wanted a hero in Caitlyn, but what they got was a villain in Chennedy. And together, that's a storyline people can't look away from. Like it or not, the drama gave the W a pulse, a gritty, chaotic, real one. This wasn't some scripted rivalry. This was raw, uncomfortable, human. And in that chaos, the WNBA finally felt alive. Not just as a league, but as a culture war. Battleground. So yeah, maybe it was just a foul, or maybe it was the ignition switch for the league's next era. Either way, one thing's for sure. That hit won't be forgotten. And if the W's smart, they'll stop trying to bury it and start building around it. So where does this leave us? The league's caught between two worlds. Protect the polished star or embrace the raw disruptor. Caitlin Clark's rise is a perfect marketing dream. Chennedy Carter's aggression, a nightmare some executives want erased. But WNBA fans, we crave both. We want the drama, the clash, the messy reality behind the highlights. Because basketball without tension is just background noise. And here's the kicker. The story isn't over. Carter's fade isn't just about a foul. It's a glimpse into the league's soul, its biases, its power plays, and who really gets to define what respect means on and off the court. So stay tuned, because this isn't just a WNBA saga, it's a cultural showdown, and the next chapter is about to get even juicier. What happens when the underdog fights back? You won't want to miss it. If you thought that was wild, wait till you see what's coming next. Trust me, the WNBA drama is only heating up. Hit subscribe, drop a comment with your take, and buckle up because this story's far from over.